If you've never used AI before, or you've tried and felt completely lost, this channel is for you. Not for the tech savvy, not for people already using AI every day, but for complete beginners. I'm Catherine and I run a business part-time while managing health challenges, and AI is the reason I can do that. Everything on this channel starts from zero, so there's no jargon, no assumptions, no editing, just real honest step-by-step learning. And here's my favorite bit. I use AI to teach myself AI, and that's exactly what we'll be doing together. If you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, today I'm doing a video introducing Claude. The last one we started with Gemini from the very beginning again. And I'm going to show you Claude's ecosystem. Now, today I'm doing it from a place of kind of semi-cognitive brain fog day, which actually is probably a good thing for those of you who are running a part-time business with health challenges, because then you can kind of see the reality of doing this stuff when you find those challenges. But for whatever reason you're trying to either set up or run a business part-time, hopefully this will be useful for beginners. Now, last time we looked at Google Gemini, and what I have done in that video, I had mentioned that you don't have to accept all the permissions when you're just starting to work out which of these AI tools you would like to maybe invest in. But I did go back and I redid the conversation and then I saved it, because what I'd like to do with Claude and then the next one after this with ChatGPT is run through the exact same questions, because what will be interesting will be to see the different types of answers and the style that it comes back with. Now, I mentioned that I use AI and have been using AI to teach AI. That is exactly what is good when you're cognitively not having a good day, is you can just go and ask AI to give you a hand. That is just a real gem for me, being able to do that. So I went back, I did the conversation, I then renamed it to the name of the video that I previously recorded for YouTube, and I've got that there to refer back to. Now, whereas Gemini is part of Google's ecosystem, Claude doesn't have an ecosystem, and neither does ChatGPT. So with these tools, you are creating an account rather than you potentially already having an account. It's entirely up to you whether you'd like to continue with Google or create your username and password and save it in a password manager. For ease of use, I'm going to continue with Google, but I will use my second Gmail account because I use Claude Code. It's my go-to tool quite intensively. I'm using automations, integration, using N8N, but this is not the space for that level of difficulty. And it's nice actually for me to go back to the very beginning, because I am learning along with you the basics, because I'm now way into the kind of more intermediate advanced level. So continue with Google. Let's have a look at this, and using my second account. Okay, let's continue. Okay. So not too dissimilar to Gemini, it's just that you're creating your account and you're agreeing to Anthropic's terms and conditions and occasional product updates. I tend to not bother with that. We get enough emails in our inboxes, don't we? So let's continue with just the agreement. When is your birthday? Okay. To verify your account. Okay, and then it pops up straight away with plans. So we're just going to use Claude for free, because again, we are experimenting with these tools to find out exactly how they work. You can skip all these for now. You can download, again, different to Gemini, there's a download for Mac and Windows machine. You can have that on your laptops, computers, but we'll just skip that just now. We're going to be using the web interface. It does a little bit of introduction, And I think it talks about guardrails, keeping the chat safe, talks about no ads, which of course ChatGPT is starting to introduce. I think US, I think they started first. I'm not sure if they're in the UK yet, but we will find that out in another recording, I'm sure. Help improve Claude. Oftentimes I actually untick those, but I'm actually going to leave everything as it is, as many people would normally just go into. So it wants to know what I should call you, whereas when you're already part of Google Gemini's ecosystem and it's already got your name. So let's put Catherine. Oh, okay. This is a little bit different to Gemini. It's already asking me 3 topics. Okay, let's go with, well, business. So bear in mind this channel is for running your small business. Writing content, yes, definitely, because we're going to be doing, we'll leave out the coding, development, learning, studying, Claude's choice. I don't actually know what that one is. Let's go to learning and studying, because I'm thinking we're learning Claude Code and using AI to learn AI. So let's go with those 3. I would suggest, because this is for small businesses, we're trying to, solopreneurs and small businesses, I would suggest adding that one. Okay, a few ideas. Where should we start? Not keen on create business pivots. No, have my own. We'll try that one. Right, so here we are. It says back at it, Catherine, but of course I never even started here yet, so that's interesting. I see you've got the upgrade at the top. So this is just as much new for me as it is for you, because I am not. Okay, we'll get into a lot of that probably later on. Right, so similar to Gemini, you have your sidebar. Let's go back to Gemini from the last video. It's slightly different. We'll go into a lot of these things much later on in this channel. Again, we're really going to start from the very beginning, not go into any of this just now. So what I'd like to do is pull up the conversation I had previously with Gemini and go back to the top. So what you'll find in all chats, whether it's Gemini or Claude, is you will find your chats, and it will create one with the full thread of chats in one. So I'm going to go back to the top and I'm going to copy that prompt, go back to Claude and do the exact same with Claude and see what happens. Now, with this one, yeah, it'll be most efficient for everyday tasks. I've never actually used Haiku 4.5 for quick answers. I mean, generally you kind of go with the kind of mid range. But we can again look at these. I'll show you how I use AI to help me use AI. And I'll give you an example of that probably at the end. So let's have a look at this one. Just to, okay. Of course, first of all, this is where the brain fog comes in. I've put Gemini in there and I needed to edit that. All right, okay, so it's coming up. So this is different to Gemini because it is coming up with questions, whereas Gemini straight away started to think and write an answer. So we've kind of got 2 competing things. We've got the answer that it created, and just to clarify, Claude, but I said I'd love to help you figure out to support your business. Writing and content, document and files, research and strategy, data, web search, coding, automation, and apps. So what did it do with Gemini? So Gemini, at the end of its answer, so it's got a few different ones. Yeah, it is quite a bit different. So at the end of that question, Gemini came back with, are you focusing more on marketing and content creation or trying to streamline your operations and data management? Gemini wants to know a bit more about my business. So straight away, I'm already thinking, actually, this is quite an interesting way to do this. So what type of business do you run? Who's the fluent? I'm going to actually put my own answer into here. I am going to put online education or employers. Okay. What are your biggest pain points? Okay. Sales and marketing. I mean, as long as yeah, I mean they're always pain points for small businesses and solopreneurs. In all honesty, you'll notice you can click the skip as well. But I think once when you're just trying these tools for the first time, just go with it. Right. So straight away, I'm really liking this from a kind of intuitive, co-working style of AI. So online education is a great space. So again, write your own in, and then it comes up with how I can help specifically in terms of what business I am running. Sales and marketing, creating content, admin organization, templates, got lots of ideas there. A few ideas specific to your niche. So it will probably do that for you as well. And there's notification when Claude responds. I'm quite sure if you're already in, maybe that's when you're away making a cup of tea or something. No idea, but I'll click that off just now. Would you like to dive into any of these straight away? Now, Gemini, what we did with Gemini is we would like to find out the cost incurred. So let me ignore that just now and do the exact same again, because we want to compare the style of answers. This time I need to remember to pick Claude and not Gemini. Again, for those of you running businesses with health conditions and brain fog and all the rest of it, you will completely get where I'm coming from with this, and that's fine. So let me take that one. Okay, check product self-knowledge skills. So yeah, Claude has skills that Gemini doesn't have. I know that does ChatGPT now have skills? I can't remember. So as a solopreneur, here's what's most relevant for you. Okay, we'll go back to that in a moment. I just wanted to highlight that your chat over on the left-hand side panel it's named it for you, but again, you can rename. So what we can do, we could go here, click the rename, but not rename it. You get my meaning. Copy it, cancel that just now, go back into here and save that exactly the same. Okay, so Gemini has come back with, it's got a recommendation as well, team plan and official pricing. Gemini, so similar layout, similar way it's giving you the information. Again, slightly different in how it's set up because Gemini has its workspace environment, whereas this one is different. So it's given me a recommendation. Okay, so after that one, so that's an interesting one. So remember with Gemini, it gave us these references that we needed to clarify the exact sources of. So we asked Gemini directly to go to its own Google to get that information. Claude's kind of already done that. It's given you the official pricing page at. So instead, I don't need to use this prompt in exactly the same way. What I could do is instead, can you check the Claude.com pricing page for me to clarify this information. So let's see what happens, what it's going to do there. So it's searching the web, has web capabilities. They all really do have. Taking longer than usual. So Claude in recent days, just due to a variety of reasons, has had a number, that's interesting, a number of problems with capacity. So let's retry. It's having an issue again. And this is the thing, it's I think even when you decide which one to invest in, have the others as free versions for using in case these tools go down. Because I say over the last certainly week or so, Claude has had capacity issues and problems with access. So it's not accepting that. Let me do this one more time. So you're seeing this all in real time. Claude doesn't look like it's able to go and check the pricing page for me. So that is again something that can put people off signing up for these kind of tools. But it's worth remembering that this is the free version. So it's not on a priority. If I was probably to go and do this over in my account in Claude, I would probably get the right answer. Okay, so let's move on and ask the same question with this one about changes. Now, all of them, Claude, even in just the last few weeks, it's just incredible how much is changing on almost a daily basis. Let me try this question, see if it can answer this, even though it couldn't do the previous. Yeah, so Claude is really showing the challenges it's continuing to face at the moment. So it's going to try up to 10 attempts. Again, I am not going to be a priority on the free account. But I think it's also worth remembering as well, actually, that all the accounts are not, you're not being tied in to permanent contracts with these tools. So if you did pay, you could try Gemini for 1 month at whatever price, $20. You could then cancel. You could then try Claude for 1 month, $20, cancel, and so on. And ChatGPT the same. And then if you wanted to again just go off with Copilot, Grok, whatever the others, you could do the same. So it's having a problem. Let me think. I'm not that good at thinking on the spot. So let me ask Gemini. Is Claude having access issues at the moment? It should be able to already automatically identify a day and time. Let's see what Gemini comes back with. Yeah, so there's been lots of outages. Well, that really sums it up for me, doesn't it? I'm trying to do a lesson on Claude, and there's the reality. So official status page with any new updates in the last hour. Sources again. I always find it interesting with sources that they're not going to the likes of the downtime pages, which I often visit. It's going to, yeah, so that's not that, it's interesting, the sources, they're not any of the sources I would go to check for a tool like Claude being down. It just wouldn't. But yes, please. Ignore anyone who says stop putting please. The reality is, if you stop doing that with AI, you're going to stop doing that out in the real world. Honestly, it's just not an issue. Just ignore people that bang on about that nonsense. Just, if you want to say yes, please, just say yes, please. Well, so it's quite fluid, but degraded performance, right? Okay. So I think and then it goes through why the chaos. I think the reality of Claude Code is one, I'm using a free account. And two, it's already having problems anyway. I'll retry it while I'm here. I may as well. But this is an interesting video because it's not a video I thought I was going to be recording. It's working now. Now that's the other thing that happens. People will sit here and get really, really impatient with it, and then that's it. They kind of, make that kind of decision to go, oh, I'm not gonna pay for Claude. It's useless. We need to take a chill pill at times, actually. So here we are. Great question. Right. Significant upgrades since early 2025. Got the February update there as well. Where does that 1.2 screen up? Again, I'm not. I think it's probably like all of this. Claude there, that's fine. Claude there's fine. I'm not a huge fan when it goes off on these other pages that I have absolutely never visited before. I just think it's odd why it doesn't source things that are more familiar to people, but that's fine. That's just kind of probably my bugbear. Bigger context window. So biggest practical wins in 2026 are the PowerPoint and Excel integrations, memory, skills, core work. So Claude is really, I just love, I can't get enough of using Claude Code and how I use it with in the terminal and all the integrations and skills. I just love it all. And it's really nice to actually go back to this basic interface, not having a clue what I'm doing. But actually, yeah, quite cool. I really do like Claude. Be interesting to see what ChatGPT will be like going back to that, because that's where I started from when ChatGPT launched. So that's going to be a lesson going back to what that looks like now. Okay, so finally managed to answer that question. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to delete that one because I don't need it for the tutorials that we're doing. So again, you can delete your chats in any of them, really. You can do the same in here. You can delete that chat. And was that the final question we did? Oh no, that's right. It went on there. Okay, so Gemini talked about deep research here. Okay. Doesn't mention anything about that, probably because it doesn't need to. It already kind of does that. So is there a similar question? Okay, I'm going to slightly amend this question for Claude. It's not referenced, Claude's not referenced deep research, so I am going to, what limitations for using, using Claude do I have on a free account? Right, so I've amended that one compared to the last tutorial. But again, you're not tied in, so if you did want to, I'm going to be doing the initial tutorials using free accounts. Okay, so we've got message limits, what happens when you hit the limit, feature restrictions. Yeah, don't have access to Opus. And then it talks about you'll likely hit the free limit fairly quickly on a busy working day. And also we've just came across the very issues I mentioned, that you're not a priority user on the free account, so you will maybe more errors happen on a free account. I can't really say either way with that one because I'm not using the free account. So but I would think that would be probably quite obvious. So the $20 a month. So again, with all of them, you're not tied into a contract. It's not a case of you pay the $20 for any of them and they say, well, you've got to pay that for the next 12 months. So don't worry about that either. Now, one thing before finishing this video that I would like to show you, and it's the start of how I use AI to teach AI. Now, I am going to, as an example, I use screenshots a lot, but I don't use the type of screenshots that I save. I use the copy only screenshots. So I don't have to go back into my screenshot folder and sort all the saved screenshots out. Now on the Mac, I have it saved again for my brain fog. Command, Control, Shift, and 4. So 4 keys on your Mac can create a screenshot copy only. On my Windows machine, I have created the mouse middle button to do the exact same thing. So I'm on my Mac at the moment. I'm using my Mac for these recordings. So I'm going to do the command, Control Shift 4. I'm going to take a copy only screenshot. When I've done that, I do Command V and I paste it in. And this is how I learn AI. So what I do is I then ask it, and it means that I've not got that additional cognitive load of trying to either describe verbally, because obviously you can speak to all the tools and have it populate text that way, or you can type it in. I don't have to cognitively and spend time thinking about what I'm trying to ask it. I'm not very good at describing what's on my screen properly. I think it's far better to create that screenshot to demonstrate what you're about to ask it about. So what is the difference between, and again, you can use audio for this if you don't want to type. So what we're doing, what's the difference between Sonnet 4.6 and extended thinking? And by adding that screenshot, it knows exactly what you're actually referencing and looking about. Because I could be talking about something somewhere else in here that's in Claude, because I could be in the settings somewhere. It's giving it context of what you're looking at. Okay, right, okay. So now we're back here again. This is going to be one of my longer videos, which, yeah, that's fine. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Great screenshot. Okay, yeah. It loves screenshots. It loves, all the AIs love giving you information, but the screenshot is copy only screenshots. I use multiple times a day, multiple times. It just saves so much time and thinking, and so it's given me what the differences are. So a mode, not a model, is extended thinking. It gives them more time to think through a problem. And then really nicely, it's added, when should you use extended thinking? Off for and on for, and the trade-offs. So I've given you one example of how, well, my very first example of how I use AI to teach AI, and I'll be doing a lot more of this with the other models as we go through the different ones. Ultimately, in this video series, what I will be doing is I'll be logged into 3 of them at any one time. And what we can do is we can go back and forward between the 2 once I've then done the introduction to signing up for ChatGPT, which will be the next one. So I hope you found this one useful. It's been a little bit of a weird one, but that's the reality. That is what it is, and this is done live and showing you the reality of using these tools. So I will see you next time.